so we're gonna beat him smart.
You're
Hey,
a smart guy.
Mike,
Yes, Gary.
he's angry.
He's angry.
He trained hard. He came to fight, and Hopkins didn't want to fight. Hopkins looked for a way out. So was he angry in that ring after the fight? Goddamn right.
And I feel like maybe Hopkins is angry that there are allegations that his shoulder
What's Hopkins have to be angry at? His record shows. His record shows Chad's never lost a point in his whole career, ever. Look at Bernard Hopkins' record. He wouldn't do a face-off. You know why he wouldn't do a face-off? He can't look Chad in the eye. He knows he fucking faked that injury, but he stood up here and spoke for 40 goddamn minutes.
And how can he be upset when the fact that this has happened numerous times? I mean, if you look back at the Roy Jones rematch, he literally out and out tried to get Roy disqualified. There's no doubt, there's no disputing that he tried to get the man disqualified. And I believe it was Tony Weeks was the referee. If you remember, he was like, "Come on, just give me, will you please?" And he got up. You know, it's almost like you have a kid and the kid's trying to play a trick on you so he can get some extra ice cream. He acts like he's sick. My daughter does it all the time. I go, listen, either you eat the food or you're sitting in that chair for 20 minutes. She eats the food. Because she knows she's been caught. He got caught trying to, he would have been satisfied letting Roy get disqualified. That's crazy.
Are you guys trying to get into Bernard's head by bringing up the shoulder injury and accusing him? Basically, Walter was more than implying that he's faking it. Are you trying to get in his head?
He knows his injury. I mean, if he has any type of injury, it's still there. Because look, I in June of 1999, I had a severely strained rotator cuff in a fight. There's no way in the world 6 months later I was fighting. There's no way. And his injury is supposedly much more severe than mine. So, based on that, I think his injury at the best is exaggerated, because there's no way. If you told me, I got hurt in June, and I remember in July, August, September, October. 4 months later, I was in Florida and I fell off a jet ski, and the pain was so intense that I was literally screaming underwater before I came up to the surface. That was 4 months later, and my injury wasn't as bad as Hopkins supposedly was. So I don't see how he could have been as hurt as bad as he was, and now he's fighting in April. I doubt that.
And Mike, the other thing is, as a team, we don't discuss, like, let's say this, that'll piss them off, that'll get them. If anything, we discuss strategy, how we're going to handle the fight or whatever. But when we came in today, it was just pleasantries. It wasn't anything else. He's got the problem. He always tries to get another fighter's head. You notice today he didn't say a goddamn word, not a word. And at the weigh-in in California, Chad said, I'm going to beat your ass. He just turned around and walked away. He's in with a bigger, stronger, faster man, and he knows it.
I will tell you what he said about you guys out here. He said Gary was up there trying to work the commission. Gary's been trying to work the commission, so if it's a close decision, Chad's going to get the nod. He said, I've already been working the commission. Spies have told me that Gary's working the commission. I've already been working the commission.
How would I be working the commission? I was sitting in my seat watching the fight.
In the last couple of weeks, he said. You've been
the New Jersey Commission?
Yes, you've been on the phone with the commission. So talking to your friends there.
Well, let me just tell you. Call Aaron Davis and ask him that if I've spoke to anybody in New Jersey. Anyone. The answer is no. He's a liar. I'll look him in the face and say he's a liar. I look at you and tell you he's a liar. That's what he's trying to do. He's already trying to get in your heads, thinking, well, it's not a fair fight. Shaw's doing this, Shaw's doing that. Why? Because Ken Conlon said that I have a long history with him. Or because everybody knows I was on the New Jersey Commission. But I would never do that. I've always said, if he's going to win the fight, I want him to win a fair fight. Period. I don't want to. Look, I was brought into sport by Jersey Joe Walcott. I came in with my head high. I want to walk out with my head high. I don't look to work a commission, take care of Chad for me. No, I say at the rules meetings when I do my talking. But I've never once made one call to the New Jersey Commission.
Mike Woods from the Boxing Channel. Thanks for watching.
Eric, can we have you do that so we can buzz now?
Yeah.
Chad, you seemed visibly upset up here today with him.
I wasn't upset. I was just stating the fact. I was just
telling Bernard, he did the same thing to me the last fight. He dared me to fight. And I caught his bluff and I came out to fight the last fight. But he didn't want to fight.
So you don't think that is playing out as sort of like nervous energy because it seems to us that he's under your skin.
Why would I be nervous? Why would I be nervous? Nervous about what? About what? I understand that probably most of you guys are Bernard fan, he's a legend, okay. But there comes a time where every legend has to take their beat. And this time he's going to take his beat and he's just avoiding it. That's all he's doing. He's avoiding it. He avoided it on October 15th. He avoided it. Ass whooping. That's what he did. He avoided it. He found a way out.
You still believe to this day that he took the opportunity to get out of that fight with the injury?
If you don't believe that, then I don't know. It's obvious. Did you see a dislocation in his shoulder that night? It's obvious. Obvious. Yeah, they did, but there was nothing that said that his shoulder was dislocated. It was just everything he said. Like the doctor said, is your arm hurt? Oh yeah, it's hurt. It's hurt. So it was just like that. It was nothing that, there was no x-rays or anything like that. It was just what he said was wrong with him.
There was never no medical documentation on it,
There was
MRI, nothing?
No doctor said that his shoulder was dislocated. No one said that. No one. Nobody said his shoulder was dislocated. It was just what he said. No, the doctor said, okay, how's your shoulder feel? Oh, it's hurt. So the shoulder hurt. That's it.
That's it? Usually you have to go through a lot of tests on all
He
that.
didn't do any of that.
Oh,
Chad,
interesting.
Mike Woods from the Boxing Channel. Can you tell us what you felt and saw in the ring with Hopkins in that first 5 minutes of that first fight?
Scared me. You guys are looking at me like I'm saying something that it can't, like, Bernard can't be scared of somebody. Everybody has to face their fears. Bernard Hopkins has to face his fear. 20 years, point blank. You gotta face me. He found a way out that night. He thought there never was gonna be no rematch, but it's a rematch. So there it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna lose.
Did you feel he was physically diminished from the Hopkins that you'd seen previously? And what did you see in him? Was it reflexes? What did you see that was diminished?
Reflexes, he didn't want to engage. Did not want to engage. He backed up the whole fight. Do you see Bernard Hopkins back up the whole? Even though it wasn't the whole 2 rounds, but the whole 2 rounds, I backed him up. I brought the fight to him. I tried to fight him. He didn't want to engage until he saw a little opportunity to throw his little headbutt or jump on my back and do little stuff like that. But other than that, it wasn't gonna be a fight.
There was actually in between rounds, in between the first and second, I actually said to Chad, don't get frustrated because he doesn't want to fight. Because at one point, I saw Chad was really trying to make the fight, and Bernard was not. And I saw the look on Chad's face, like, basically like, come on, let's fight. I said, we're going to fight. And I actually had to make mention of that because that's how passive Bernard shows me. So I didn't want Chad to fall into laying back and everything like that. So Bernard didn't come out guns blazing. He challenged us to have a real fight, and he didn't live up to his end of it.
Chad, one question I did have. Bernard in the past has noted his master head games. And let's just say him being quiet isn't effective.
Yeah, it's a head game. We all know it's a mind game. We already know.
Now, being that if he is doing that, he is really not afraid of it. Does that concern you at all? Or you still think you're going to be able to dominate the way you think he is playing head games and not scared?
I think it's a head game. I think he's just praying that I come into the fight overconfident and that I don't want to riff. Like I just want to go out and hurt him and I just want to throw all power punches and I just want to leave myself open so he can catch me with something. But that's not what the case is. That's not the case at all. I'm still going to go out and I'm still going to be a smart fighter. I'm just going to be doing the smart way. I'm not going to. I could have just. October. I mean, even though he headbutted me 3 times in 2 rounds, headbutted me, jumped on my back all the time. Have you ever seen me cry about it to the rest of the ref? Look, ref, he's doing this, he's doing that, ref. The ref didn't warn him one time. So the last time he jumped on my back, I feel like I had to get him off my back myself, but the ref wasn't going to do it, so that's what I did. He took the script out for enough script.
Do you feel it's going to be a competitive fight?
You didn't mean to knock him out. Stop him this time. Stop him in regular service.
I would want to stop him. I'm not going out there to stop him, but I would love to stop him. I would love to knock him out. Not stop him, knock him out.
And what do you make of him not engaging you here, going up?
Mind games,
Bernard,
man. Mind
he
games.
loves the microphone. He didn't talk. What do you make about it? What is he hoping to do?
Hopefully I'll get overconfident. Overconfident and bring that overconfidence into the ring. Lose my mind. But that's not me.
You've got a desire to put on this great showing here, but at the same time, how do you intelligently use your aggressiveness to go after the knockout like you're talking about?
Doing it the last fight. Doing it. I thought the first 2 rounds, I thought I fought the perfect fight. Bernard Hopkins to be the aggressor. And Bernard not to even remotely, not once try to engage with me and try to, that says it all right there, man. It says everything.
Not to change gears too much, but can you comment on this past Saturday's Tavoris Cloud fight?
Yeah, I mean, Torres Khan took a beat. Everybody saw it, the whole world saw it. He took a beat, man. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, and this is the reason boxing is being diminished now. The reason that people aren't interested in boxing. After that fight, I went on Twitter, man. You wouldn't believe how many people. I mean, people were just like, "That's why I don't watch boxing anymore." I mean, it's crazy, man. It's ridiculous.
There was a lot of talk for years now of the two of you eventually fighting. Gary mentioned back here that very likely would be the next fight.
Who wouldn't want to fight him after that fight? I mean, who wouldn't? I mean,
does his performance diminish the allure of that fight?
You gotta look at it like this. He fought a tall, lanky southpaw just like me. Just like the guy was tall, lanky, and was a boxer, and knew when to punch and when not to punch. I mean, pretty much the guy had the same style like me. Pretty much the same style. And look what happened. So do you think Tavares Cloud really wants another fight with another tall southpaw? I mean, you talking about he just fought a guy who only had 7 knockouts. I mean, you talking I'm a southpaw. I mean, I believe I can punch. I don't think.
So it's probably a good chance that fight may never happen because he may not want it.
But we want the fight to happen, but I mean, you got to be smart. I mean, that's like sending him back in, get finished off. Same type of fighter.
Gary, what would you do if Tavoris Cloud were your fighter, given that last performance?
If Tavoris was my fighter, I would say I want to fight everybody at 175. And then when Chad came calling, I'd say not you, because there's no way that Cloud could beat Chad. But I didn't hear the questions, but I do want to say one thing. Richard Schaefer, and I have a lot of respect for him, got up here and said Hopkins wants this fight. When I said it was the WBC that had ordered it, he said they don't make fights, Hopkins wants it. That's not true, that's disingenuous. Because Hopkins without a belt is just an old, broken down fighter. With the belt, he's the oldest fighter to ever defend the belt or possibly win the fight, or win the belt. Right now, think of it as a runway. We've got an old, broken down plane on a runway nobody else can take off. Chad has got to clear the runway. And once he clears the runway of that old, broken down plane, then everybody's going to be in the sky flying.
And you stand by the fact that he chose not to engage here today, do the obligatory post-press conference face-off, was, in a way, Bernard showing fear?
I don't know that showing fear. What I really believe, he couldn't look Chad Dawson in the eye face-to-face because he knows that he pussied out of that fight. He knows he didn't have a real injury, and that's why. So he didn't do it. He didn't talk. But when he got in front of the HBO camera, he stood there for 40 minutes talking shit. He also said to everybody that I've been lobbying the New Jersey Commission. I don't need to lobby the New Jersey Commission. My fighter will take care of the business in the ring. But maybe that's in his head. Maybe it is fear. I think it's just the knowing that Chad knows that he laid there with going, oh my arm, but turning to the referee and saying, but I can fight with one hand. How disingenuous is that? That a referee is going to let a fighter go in the ring against Chad Dawson with one hand.
Thanks, guys.
Question. Now, thoughts. Very remarkable. Guys, like they mentioned, this is what I find interesting. Maybe you've engaged in double fights, turn bouts. It's truly games, toughest opponents.
About 3.
Okay. Now, the question here is, on paper, this represents a passing of the torch. Do you think that's the case? Like you said,
I think it's what Gary said. You got to clear the runway. Then, I mean, after Bernard's gone, maybe we could get some big fights, big name fights. Get the top 10 fighters to fight each other. Right now, if you let Bernard do it, how he gonna do it? He'll hold on to the belts. He'll pick his own fight. He'll kick that title until he's 60 years old. I mean, if you let Bernard do it, I mean, but if you make him fight guys, then he can't. It's like he has to fight. It's not like Bernard sat there and said, "Oh, I'm gonna fight Chad Dawson. I'm gonna fight Chad." No. They had to put a fire up on his ass to get him.
when you clean out light heavyweight division, do you have any interest in moving to cruiserweight?
Actually, now, I mean, our interest is about 68.
Interested in going down about 68. If you had to pick one of the opponents, who would be the most going down?
Ward.
Andre Ward.
Ward, man.
Respect him as a fighter? Think he's as good as they say?
I respect him as a fighter, but I think he makes for a good fight. But I definitely think me and Andre Ward, I think that's definitely the future of boxing right there.
Yeah, I want to say something because you've all asked the same question. You used the word respect. I've been with Chad out of 5 years. Most of it longer. Most of it is pro career. I have never ever heard Chad disrespect another fighter. Not to the press, not to me personally, not in the dressing room, not in the ring. He's a consummate professional that respects his opponent. You know, we've seen enough upsets in boxing, but Chad is very, very respectful. If there's anything I can say about Chad in the ring and out of the ring, he's one of the most respectful people that I've ever dealt with. So there's no disrespect. He respects everybody. You know, we haven't really talked as a team yet. Chad, Walter, myself, Scully. Personally, I'd like to see him fight Cloud and win another belt, and then go down to 68 and beat Ward and beat Butte and everybody else that everybody's talking about. And I think as he does that, he will gain more and more respect from the boxing fans and the press.
Gary, one question I do. I've overheard these guys talk about is outpointed in a round case?
No, he's never had a point deducted in a round. So when we're talking about dirty fighters versus clean fighters, and everybody's saying, "Oh,
I've never had a point deducted from me
ever in his whole career."
Even as an amateur, I can't remember taking points.
So it's not as if Chad does dirty things or is thinking dirty in the ring. When he's trying to get Hopkins off his back, it's because Hopkins' elbow was in his neck.
That's me defending myself. Just me defending myself. That's what that was. Then I was just defending myself. If he would have kept, my neck like that, I mean, probably put a knot in the back of my neck, anything. So I was just defending myself.
Chad,